May the 14th, 2022, and welcome back to another weather video. In this video, we're going to be talking about the heat. So the heat is going to be a very, very important topic for next week. So it's going to be very hot. We're talking about temperatures in the 90s for a lot of people going on for next week. So I'm going to show you what is going to be going on through next week with this heat. So as we get into next Sunday, tomorrow, which is Sunday, we're dealing with 80s, 90s, and 100s for a lot of people, especially into Texas. I mean, we're talking about 100s in maybe around Wichita Falls. Texas and Florida are going to be the two main states that I'm going to be picking on in this video because they're going to be getting a lot of heat from this heat wave that will be happening. So Texas will be getting into the mid to upper 90s, maybe even reaching over 100 degrees in some places. Florida as well. Florida will be inching toward the mid 90s, especially into Central Florida around the Orlando area. So if you live around that area, you're all going to be dealing with 90s tomorrow. The rest of the country will be dealing with 80s and 70s. Then as we get into Monday, that heat starts to build into the eastern seaboard. So it's those of you who live in the Northeast, y'all be dealing with temperatures in the 60s and the 70s for those of you who live in the Northeast. Meanwhile, the Southeast will be dealing with 80s and 90s. Same thing for Florida in the low to mid 90s. And then Texas, y'all will be dealing with temperatures in the upper to lower 100s. And then y'all in the Midwest will be dealing with 60s and 70s. If you want to escape the heat, you got to go all the way up to Minnesota and Wisconsin to escape this heat. So as we get into Tuesday, I'm sorry if y'all hear these birds. I'm outside. And then as we get into Tuesday, we'll deal with the 80s and the 90s for a good chunk of the southern U.S. on your Tuesday. So you see a rinse and repeat formation with the heat that will be going on next week. So as we get into Wednesday, we'll deal with more 90s and 100s for a good chunk of the southern U.S. The Northeast might get a break. Same thing for the Midwest. We'll get a break tomorrow as well. Then as we get into Thursday, we'll see the heat very intense heat into the Southeast. We're talking about temperatures in the upper 90s, low 100s for those of you who live down in the Southeast. So places like Jacksonville, Florida, Orlando, Florida, up to Atlanta, Columbia, South Carolina, Savannah, Georgia, all the way up into Myrtle Beach. So if you're going to the beach later on this week around Thursday, Friday, it's going to be very, very hot in the interior Southeast. The Midwest will be back into the 80s and the 70s, as well as the Northeast. Northeast will get a little cool down, but then as we get into Friday, the ridge starts to build into the eastern U.S. So we're starting to see more heat into the southeastern portions of the U.S., as well as the Northeast, dealing with 70s and 80s as your high temperatures for your Friday. And the same thing for Texas and Oklahoma, temperatures in the 100s again, and upper 90s. Then as we get into next Saturday, the heat starts to build back into the eastern U.S., so back in the 90s for much of the Southeast, as far north as Boston, Massachusetts. We'll be seeing temperatures in the 90s. And then as we get into Sunday, we'll see that heat start to dissipate. So we'll start to see the heat start to go away as we get into next Sunday. So this whole week is going to be dealing with a lot of heat for a good portion of the country. So if you live in the eastern U.S., which is basically what this map is showing, you're going to be dealing with temperatures in the 80s, 90s, maybe even 100s in some places, but it's going to be very, very hot. We're going to actually feel like summer, but it's not summer, obviously. It's still May. But it's gonna actually feel like it's summertime. So that's it for today's video. I'm sorry if I keep doing these videos like this. It's not my fault though. My Chromebook does not want to work, so I gotta keep doing these videos like this from now on until it works. Hopefully very soon, because hurricane season is about to come up next month. So we're gonna start talking about hurricanes in a minute. So thank you all for watching the video for today. Please like and subscribe. I know it's a short one. Please like and subscribe if you really enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.